Will we start?
Yes.
I think we have to start the recording. Yes, I think we can start now. Hello everyone, good morning. A very warm welcome to all the parents, students, and participants who have joined us for today's webinar on math and science competitions. So I am C. Ganesh. I'm currently working as an intern with Raising a Mathematician Foundation. So it's my pleasure to be hosting today's session and welcoming all of you to this informative session. So before we proceed to the webinar, I'd like to mention that this webinar is being organized by Raising a Mathematician Foundation as a part of our outreach towards our Math Circles program. So first, I'd like to give a brief introduction about Raising a Mathematician Foundation and then an intro about Math Circles as well, and then we'll proceed with the webinar. So, to talk about Raising a Mathematician Foundation, Raising a Mathematician Foundation is a non-profit organization that works in multiple capacities in the space of mathematics education, mainly identifying and nurturing mathematical talents, offering rich mathematical content beyond the school curriculum, and mentoring students for mathematics and informatics Olympiads, and building a community of parents, teachers, and mathematics lovers. So, one of the important initiatives that RAM has taken and working towards its visions is the Math Circles program. So, what exactly are these Math Circles, right? So, Math circles are communities where students come together along with the faculty who are actually mathematicians to explore interesting mathematical ideas, solve challenging problems, and experience mathematics through discussion, collaboration, and then good creative thinking. So, it is a space where students learn to ask questions, explore patterns, and enjoy the process of mathematical discovery, which is kind of a unique experience from what and how they learn mathematics in schools. So to understand more about math circles and the kind of experience students have in these sessions, so we'd like to present you all with an AV. So please watch this AV now. Yeah.
Math Circle is inherently different from, say, classes, coaching, or any kind of Olympiad training programs because we follow the reverse methodology there.
Because when we explain a concept and when they click, so they have an aha moment.
Which is why I really like coming to Math Circle every week.
So Math Circle has been running in many countries over centuries now. In India, Math Circle is very new as a concept. It's probably 4 5 years old. Eventually, we would want to have a Math Circle in every district where students can come together and they can have this learning opportunity.
Sometimes the sessions are so intense that children actually will be solving a problem even beyond the 2 hours that they will be spending in a classroom, right? And parents will be actually be waiting outside, and they come back and ask us, how are they sitting for so long when we are unable to make them sit at home?
So if any parent is wondering what will I get from a Math Circle, would be great content that you cannot experience anywhere, amazing faculty, the peer group that they get to, and the community that they are part of, which in itself is a very supportive community, and they kind of help each other.
The way Math Circle works is it's basically a setup where we have children in the age group of 6th grade to say 8th grade. Through a selection process, they get exposed to mathematics, which is probably not taught in regular school curriculum.
The point of the Math Circle is to allow the student to think and come up with solutions their own way. And the job of the faculty and the teaching aides is simply to nudge them in the right direction.
When we started Raising a Mathematician Foundation, our motivation were students who were really passionate about math.
We divided students city-wise and figured out how we can expand around. So one of the ideas there was Math Circle.
So the long-term goal is to start these Math Circles, which will be like in-person experience for students to work with mathematicians or researchers on a weekly basis. And then slowly through that we tap into students who want to pursue mathematics in some form, and then we can scale it up to a national level.
Yeah, thank you, Sundaram, for the AV. So I hope the AV gave you all a glimpse of what happens inside a math circle and how it creates an environment for students to explore and enjoy mathematics. So I'm happy to share that applications for math circles are now open across all our chapters, including Bangalore chapter, two chapters in Chennai, Delhi chapter, Dombivli chapter, Nagpur, and Nasik chapters. So we encourage all of you to visit Ram Foundation's website and explore more about the Math Circles program, upcoming sessions, and registration details. So, to just like give a glimpse of how you can do applications, I think Sundaram, can you share the screen? We'll show a quick navigation on how to find the page and how to apply, so that you all can visit the website after the webinar. So once you go to the Math Circles website, so you can see that there is a option of how to apply. So once you click on that, you can see different uh, tabs for each chapter. So select the tab whichever is applicable for you, and then in that you can see initially all important details regarding the math circles of that particular chapter, like dates, important dates, selection test, all of those, and especially the session venue. And then bottom of that we have uh, options of FAQs, and then there is this option of applications open. That's where you have to click uh, to log in into Ram's app and then make an application for Math Circle. Yeah, so that's the quick uh, intro of how to do application. Yes. So now moving ahead, so today we are delighted to have with us our RAM faculty member as well as RAM alumni, Sai Patil, who will be leading today's webinar. So I'd like to just give a quick introduction about Sai, and then I'd like to hand over the forum to Sai. So Sai is a 19-year-old from Maharashtra with a deep interest in mathematics and theoretical computer science, and have a deep passion for teaching as well. Now, she has represented India at European Girls Math Olympiads and holds two bronze medals in the same. She has qualified for the Indian IMO training camp thrice and the Indian IOI training camp twice. When she is not thinking about a problem, she is likely to be found singing or playing with her pets. So, with a rich experience in various competitions and a passion for mathematics and theoretical computer science, we're sure that today's session will be an exciting, a meaningful, as well as a good informative session for all of us. So, without further ado, I'd like to invite Sai Patil to take over and begin the session. Over to you, Sai.
Hi, thank you so much, Ganesh, for the kind introduction. It's lovely to be here. So without much, let's just get into it. So firstly, let me just go over what an overview of how the next few minutes are going to go. Come in, next slide, please. So we'll start talking about one of the main sort of competitions that are there, which are the international Olympiads. And after that, we also have three of our own RAM alumni, I'll introduce in just a bit. But we'll have a conversation with them and talk about their experiences in certain competitions and what they really liked about them, and so on. And at the end of it, we will also have a section for question and answer. So please keep your questions till the end, and we'll try and answer as many as your questions as we can. Okay, all right. So let's just next slide, please. Okay, so exactly how most of you would have heard of Olympics, right? Where every country sends a team of students or individual athletes to compete at the international level, where an athlete is not just like fighting for a medal, but that means that they're getting a medal for the entire country. That's how it works. So similarly, there are Olympics for academic subjects. Then they're called Olympiads, and these are the true international Olympiads that take place. For example, you might have heard of the International Math Olympiad, in which, in fact, in 2024, our team did incredibly well, ranking fourth in all the There's more than 60 nations that have participated. So, what is the International Math Olympiad and how does it work? So, every country, as I said, sends a 6 student team. Each country has their own selection process, after which the six students are selected along with a delegation to be sent to one place where the IMO is held. So, for example, this year it's being held in Shanghai, China. And in India, the selection process for this is very rigorous. So, the first stage, as is written on the slides, is the Indian Olympiad qualifier in mathematics. Then we have the RMO, which is Regional Mathematics Olympiad. Then we have the Indian National Math Olympiad, after which there are 60 students across the nation which are selected for the IMO training camp, where the team selection tests happen. And then people are selected, the team is selected for the Math Olympiad. And next slide, please. So let's talk a bit in detail about each of these competitions. So IOQM has 30 questions and 180 minutes. It's sort of like your gateway into things. So it usually, what IOQM requires is just, or in fact, what each of these competitions require is just for you to know some basic things. And after that, it's all about how much you can, how creative you can get, how much you can think, and whether you can come up with your own original solutions instead of just knowing how to apply certain sets of formulas. Usually, the IOQM, how IOQM works is you have 30 questions, you have 3 hours, and you have to the answer. It's not MCQ, but you have to answer and it's given for sure that the answers are going to be integers. So you just have to solve and fill the bubbles for the answers. And usually the syllabus for all math Olympiads has generally split into 4 categories: geometry, combinatorics, number theory, and algebra. So for IOQM, IOQM helps you set up a foundation in all these 4 topics. So again, eligibility criteria is 8th to 12th grade for all of these. Yeah, next. Then we have the regional and the Indian National Math Olympiads. These are very different from IOQM or any other competition that you might have heard of before. They are proof based, which means, in fact, as you can see, for RMO, you have only 6 questions to solve in an entire 3 hours. And for those of you who don't know, for those of you who are hearing about this for the first time, this is in fact even this time is not enough to solve all the 6 questions. Most people only end up solving 3 to 4. And that's considered, in fact, a strong performance. As you can see, the level is quite different and quite a bit of a jump from IOQM. So, this, of course, requires you to write proper proofs as well. So, this is the same for RMO and INMO. Both of them, they are not computational. You have to write proofs for whatever statements you're making. And from the Regional Math Olympiad, around 30 students from every region are selected for an INMO training camp, or the Indian National Math Olympiad training camp. So it's usually depending on the region. Sorry, no, just go previous. So it's usually like a 7 to 10 day camp, depending on which region you're at. After which, at the end of which, you get to sit for the Indian National Math Olympiad. Now this is again 4.5 hours and 6 questions, uh, which is again, as I said before, it seems like, oh, surely that's so much time and only 6 questions, surely you can do all of them. But in fact, here as well, usually the cutoffs are just 3 to 4 questions. So you can think of the difficulty level yourself as to how it is. And after this, you can after this, usually top 60 people from this are selected for the prestigious IMO training camp, right? Next slide. So here you get this is in fact a 30-day, 1 month long program that is held at the Chennai Mathematical Institute for all the selected people. This is where the team selection tests happen. So the format for IMO is in fact 3 questions in 4.5 hours. So even worse, even more difficult than the INMO. And the team selection tests are something that are held over 4 days and the cumulative scores are used to determine makes the team. So the top 6 people that do well in the team selection tests are chosen to represent India at the International Math Olympiad. But the IMO training camp is not just about the IMO, making the team for IMO. It also involves, of course, it's a month-long program, only 4 days out of which are used for the team selection tests. The remaining days, there are intensive lectures all day long, and there you get to meet other people with the same passion for mathematics, and in fact, you get a wonderful community. So yeah, so these exams are just way beyond just the whatever 5 days, let's say, in total you've spent on the exams, but this goes much beyond just that. They expose you to a lot of different things. And the lectures at IMOTC are not just about how to get better at Olympiads, but they also connect you with many renowned faculties and give you a better, like, expose you to other areas in mathematics or computer science that you may be interested in. Okay, so that's about that. And this is also just a small note. This also leads you to the European Girls Math Olympiad. So India also sends a team for the European Girls Math Olympiad, and the selection process for EGMO, the Team India for EGMO, is almost the same, except after you get to the IMOTC, you also have a separate EGMO team selection tests. Okay, so next slide, please. So similarly, just like you have the International Math Olympiad, there are also Olympiads in many subjects where actual countries come and participate. And the selection process is also again equally rigorous. For example, there's an Olympiad in informatics, which involves you which if you're somebody who likes to code things out, then you might enjoy this, because that's exactly what you have to do at the informatics Olympiad. You have to solve problems by writing a code. Again, the selection process starts with zonal Olympiads, after which you get to go to a national Olympiad, after which you get to go to the national camp where the team selection tests happen. There's a similar process for an AI Olympiad as well. So these slides will be shared with you after the session, and you can they will come with links. So if you want more information, you can get more info, like you can just get all the resources in the slides later. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. So similar to that, as we have maths and computer science, in fact, there's IPHO, there's ICHO, which is the physics and the chemistry Olympiads, and there's also biology Olympiads, and so on and so forth. So at this point, let me just take a bit of a pause and call on to our RAM student here, Kevin. So hi, Kevin. Kevin, just a small introduction. Kevin has been with RAM since 2021. And in fact, it's an interesting story about how he got acquainted with Ram, which we'll get to in a bit. He's finished his 12th grade and is going to start his BSc, his bachelor's at IIM Bangalore, with a major in data science and minor in economics and business. And it's lovely to have you, Kevin. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I would like to share about my experience on giving NSEP and INPHO. So it is nearly the same structure it follows nearly the same structure as IOQM does. While IOQM,
So before we go into that, can you tell us a bit? So what is NSCP first?
yeah. Okay, NSEP is the IOQM equivalent for physics. NSEP will have 60 questions each for 3 hours, same 60 questions in 3 hours. And it will have it will have 5 markers. It's MCQ though. While IOQM, you'll have to fill in numbers 0 to 99. NSEP is MCQs. It'll have a bunch of single correct questions and a bunch of multi-correct questions, like 4 options, and all 4 can be correct. And NSEP also gives certificates based on your performance, you get center top 10%, state top 10%, national top 1%, so multiple certificates. So even if you start NSEP in 10th grade, there is a good possibility or a chance for you to get certificates which are actually valued. And after NSEP, you get into INPHO. And INPHO will have 5 questions for 3 hours. and that's totally descriptive. And INPHO really tests your concepts and your presentation, nearly the same as INMO. And you don't have a level like RMO in the physics selection process. After clearing INPHO, you get into OCSE, which is the training camp, and in the training camp, students are same as IMOTC. You get like really nice faculties from all around India, and from OCSE they select a bunch of 5 people for IPHO. And this year, India was ranked fifth. We got, I think, 3 golds and 2 bronze in the IPHO 2025. Yeah, that's it.
Wow, that is lovely. Thank you so much, Kavin, for sharing. And you'll be sharing more things as we go as well. So thanks. Okay, so yeah, so I think that's about the physics Olympiad, which is also quite similar to the mathematical Olympiads. And similarly, like I believe chemistry and biology Olympiads are also held in a very similar way. So so the NSEP equivalent for chemistry is just NSEC. For biology, you go for NSEB. After which you give the national Olympiads. After which you have an OCSE. After which you may be selected for the international stage. Okay, next. No, and we have similarly there are in fact lots of such Olympiads, not just physics, chemistry, biology. In fact, there's a philosophy Olympiad, there's an astronomy Olympiad, there's a junior science Olympiad as well. So the junior science Olympiad is usually just there for students that are under the age of 16, and they test it's a multidisciplinary contest. It's for physics, chemistry, and biology, all of them together. And in fact, I believe so our country does really well in all of these Olympiads as well. Okay. All right, we also have a linguistics Olympiad, which has very minimum prerequisites. For example, for other subjects, you might need to learn some theory. The linguistics Olympiad, it just tests your ability to decipher patterns just using logic and analyzing data. The Indian entry is through the Panini Linguistics Olympiad. So we'll be sharing these links with you. You can check that out in a bit. It's very similar. So after Panini Linguistics Olympiad, you're selected for a national level camp that I believe is held in Triple IIT Hyderabad, after which the Indian team is selected. Okay. Okay, a bit about what are the perks that come up if you do well in Olympiads. Of course, there is always the thing of just learning a lot of new things, getting in touch with a community which has similar passion and similar thoughts. That's of course there, but there are also some other things that I want to talk about here. Like if you are in MOVID, which means if you qualify for the IMO training camp, it means you get a direct interview for prestigious universities in India, such as the Chennai Maths Institute, the Indian Statistical Institute. You also get an interview with IIT Bombay for B Math. There are new programs coming up by IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Gandhinagar, where if you do well in the informatics, mathematics, physics Olympiads, you get to directly interview with them for this. So this is just the Indian university benefit. There is a huge benefit. So having an INMO awardee on your transcript, or just having, okay, I've qualified for the IMO training camp or the IOI training camp on your transcript, puts you into the top students across the nation. And of course, it's a very big thing to have on your transcript. It helps in your admissions for universities abroad as well. Having an international medal gives you access to lots of scholarships for your undergraduate degrees abroad. And as well as it's so if national, imagine if having a national certificate puts so much weight in your transcript, having an international just means that you competed at with all the top students across different countries and you did well. So having that is of course like a big it's very valuable to it's a very valuable achievement to have. um okay. Next. So, Kevin, let's move on from these Olympiads to some more competitions that you can try and that are helpful. So, Kevin, do you want to tell us a bit about some of these and how it was your experience at these competitions?
So the only way that you get to participate in a competition with you might think the only way that you get to participate in a competition with like students abroad might be to through IMOs or to getting into the team. But there are other multiple competitions that are held throughout the world where like really bright students from all around the world participate. And an example is the Harvard MIT HMMT contest and the BMT contest. So what HMMT is there are two there are two competitions basically. You can either there are two ways of participating. You can either participate as a singular person or you can participate as a team. So they will give you a bunch of there are multiple levels in HMMT2. They'll give you a bunch of questions. And what I did was me and a bunch of my friends from RAM, we participated as a team, and they'll give you you can do it either online or offline. We participated online. They'll give you a bunch of really good questions and you will have to solve them and enter the answers alone. And if you get selected for the next level, there'll be two levels at the start, and then if you get selected for the next level, you participate in that. And the top students, you'll get like really good what to say recognition in and it'll be a lot of weight in your transcript itself. So that'll be a really interesting way to like test yourself in international stage and to know where you're standing and also to add good weight to your transcript. Yeah.
And I think one thing that really makes these competitions stand out is that you work on the problems in a group, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
You discuss with your
So
friends
yeah,
and like,
it's
yeah.
yeah, lovely. Thanks, Kaveen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about that. Moving on to some good competitions that exist in India that connect you to a wider community. So I'd like to start with uh, this competition called Roots, of course, which is this is the thing. So the way Kaveen got acquainted with us, or Rising a Mathematician, was through this competition called Roots. It happens annually, and it's a competition for the slightly younger age groups, it's fifth to eighth. So I'll let actually Kaveen talk a bit more about it. What is it, and how did you get to know about it, and how did it connect you with Ram, and how did it help you do more?
Okay, Roots, I would say, was a totally life-changing thing for me because if I hadn't done Roots, I wouldn't have gotten to know about Ram, and Ram had a really big impact in my life. So in my eighth grade, like from my fifth grade itself, I knew I was like really into math, and I wanted to do a lot in math. But I didn't really get much opportunities other than the SOF Olympiads that were there in my school. So in my eighth grade, I somehow my mother stumbled upon Roots, and I gave Roots in my eighth grade, and somehow miraculously I got selected for the 4-day math camp that Ram conducted after I got selected into Roots. So after during that camp, the first lecture I attended was the lecture by Vinay Nair sir, which was on music and math, and those were the two things I loved the most. So from then I fell more in love with math, and I got deeper and deeper into the Ram circle. And from then I've attended nearly 15 residential camps alone, I think, in Ram. So that is really nice thing. And I think these Roots is a really nice competition by itself. It has like really interesting questions. And starting from a young age, like fifth grade, really helps you to get into these Olympiads like IMO itself. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, just like Roots, for usually typically for a high school and an undergraduate level, there's a exam called STEMS, which is run by Chennai Mathematical Institute as part of their annual Tessellate program that is there. It is basically an open book exam. It's an open research exam. You're allowed to use the internet. You're allowed to use any books you want. That's and you have a lot of time and very few questions, just like similar to the National Math Olympiad. And so as you can see, if you're allowed to use the internet and if you're allowed to use books, it's truly something that tests your own ability to work through and come up with innovative things. And again, similar to Roots, at the end of whoever qualifies all the rounds for STEMs, the top 20 students, I believe, across India are invited to Chennai Mathematical Institute for a 4-day fully funded camp where there are again intensive lectures. You get to widen your community and so on and so forth. So these are exams that are it's not like you just give the exam, you get a certificate and you're done with it. So it's something that helps you build on to your passion and opens up a lot of new doors for you. Okay, great. Can we go to the next one? So now I'd like to invite two of our other alums who are also here with us today. So we have Aryav Tyagra. Aryav has been associated with RAM since 2023. He's attended many camps as a student, and in fact, he's been a teaching assistant for the Delhi Math Circle as well as the Epsilon India camp this year. He's graduating from school this year. So Aryav, it's lovely to have you. Can you please tell us more about your experience at Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan and tell us a bit more about what that is? Yeah.
Yeah, so Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan, more commonly known as VVM, is a math and science competition. It is different from the other Olympiads in the sense that it has a practical component, especially for the sciences. So it's run by NCRT in collaboration with the Vijna Bharati organization. And what the competition basically is also, it also has multiple levels. There's the district level, it's an online open book test, and if you get selected, you have the state camp, and from there you go to the national camp, which is usually held in some very prestigious places like ISERs or IITs. I have been to the state camp in Haryana, and one thing which VVM really stands out for is the incorporation of practical experiments in the subjects. So usually, especially in sciences, when we the students usually do experiments in school or lab work, it happens in grades 11th and 12th, but VVM gives them the introduction to these kind of practical experiments from grades 6th onwards, which I think is a really interesting and good thing. Yeah, that's it.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Arya, for sharing that. Um, we also have so for people who have questions, please hold on to them and we will be opening the chat at the end of towards the end of the webinar and we'll be happy to answer all your questions. Yeah, we also have another Ram alum with us here today. So Diksha, it's lovely to have you. Diksha has been associated with RAM also since 2023 and she got associated with RAM through the flagship training program. She's currently in 12th grade and is studying PCMB and computer science. It's lovely to have you here, Diksha. And thank you so much for sharing. So please, I think, tell us a bit more about the Homi Baba exam and your experience.
Thank you so much for the introduction. The Homi Baba exam is a 4-round exam. So the first round is a theory exam which gives 100 MCQs, and it is about PCB, physics, chemistry, biology, and some general knowledge related to science. So when I gave it, luckily the Chandrayaan 3 landed. So it constantly talked about, asked questions about that. The second round is a practical exam, and it is only available for grades 6 and 9 of all exams. Grade 6 usually asks 5 experiments, where grade 9 requires you to conduct 3 experiments, and all this is done in 30 minutes. So it is a very paced exam, and along with the theory, you're also supposed to have some sort of practice of handling the apparatus from before. It's not like you cannot give the exam without that practice, but it requires like some sort of quick thinking and quick actions. The third and fourth round, which are clubbed together, are about a research project, and they interview you about general science and the project itself. The research project is usually about some sort of environmental awareness, like it can be something related to bioindicators, or it can be something related to how fashion affects the environment, something of that sort. And the thing I really like about this is that you are required to spread awareness about your project to the people around you. So just by giving this exam, giving the third and fourth rounds of this exam, you're actively making a difference in sort of educating people on how things are currently in the world, and what we should move to how we should move forward to conserve, to be a sustainable population. And also, along with this, after the third and fourth exam, everyone who qualifies to the third and fourth exam is invited to an award ceremony, and they get either a bronze, silver, or gold medal. And the award ceremony is very nice to attend. There are some nice talks, and the whole environment is very, very celebratory. So you can feel that over the year that you've studied and worked for this exam, you can feel the culmination of it in those 3 to 4 hours as the award ceremony, in the award ceremony. So this is it about Homi Baba exam.
Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Shall we move on to the next one? So, along with these science competitions, you may also find so there's some national as well as some, in fact, very good state level competitions. As an example, I have shown here there's a Maharashtra level talent search, which is there for grades 8 and 10. Then there's also a Bebras challenge, which is held across India, and it doesn't require it only tests your computational thinking and how good you are able to reason and come solve these sorts of challenging questions. Again, I'll you can look the exact details for these competitions up from the links that will be shared. The next one I'll be talking about is just, in fact, you can, similar to how we have IOQM, RMO, INMO in India, all of these competitions are held in the United States. It's in not these exact competitions, but their own versions of these competitions are held. So, for example, in the United States, the general pathway to the IMO team starts with the American Math Competition, so called AMC, where, and in fact, students from India or other countries are also able to give these. And so for it starts with AMC 8, which is meant for students up till the 8th grade, after which it comes the AMC 10, after which there's an AMC 12, and gradually, so these are all MCQ type questions, and gradually the difficulty increases. After AMC 12, you go to AIME, after which there's the USA National Math Olympiad. So these are all competitions that are not just restricted for the United States, but anybody from India can give them as well. And if you feel like, okay, maybe IOQM to RMO is a big jump for me, trying to work your way through the AMC might be something you might be interested in. Similar to then other national competitions in India that exists are something called National Math Talent Contest, also held in multiple levels. It's also very prestigious. Then there's the Bhaskaracharya Math Talent Search, which is also for a slightly younger age group, for fifth and sixth, I believe, the competition is held. And it again, at the end of the competition, if you qualify all the rounds, you're invited for a camp, which is held in Bhaskaracharya Pratishthan in Pune, Maharashtra, where again you get to interact with a very strong faculty in mathematics and Olympiad teachers, and you get to meet other people who are also, have the same passion. And yeah, and similar to all of these, there is so similar to the STEMS competition that I told you about earlier, which is held by the Chennai Math Institute. There's a competition called Limit, which is organized by ISI Kolkata. Then there are several such similar competitions organized by, there's one by IIT Bombay, there's one by IISc Bangalore, and so on and so forth. So these are all very interesting. And if you're somebody who enjoys solving problems, you'll definitely enjoy working through these. At the end of which, again, you get to actually visit the college and interact with other people at the college and meet students, undergraduate, graduate students who are actually learning the subject that you're interested in, and to get to know a bit more about what kind of math or computer science or what kind of studies or what kind of courses you get to do, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Now I'd like to invite Diksha again here. But just for a bit, there are again lots of, again, going back to the global level, there are just like, so there's a famous, you might have heard of the Singapore Asian Math Olympiad, SASMO, AMO, the Math Kangaroo, which is in fact the world's largest math competition with over 90 countries that participate in it. So these are all great competitions which again test your thinking, and they act as a good stepping stone, in fact, for that bridge between computational and proof-based math Olympiads, mathematical exams. Diksha, can you please tell us a bit more about the International Youth Math Challenge and how your experience there?
Yes. So the International Youth Math Challenge is a three level exam, and all of the rounds are online. There are it is, as I said, 3 rounds. The first round is a qualification round where you're given 5 questions and you have to solve them. But unlike other exams, instead of being given a set time and a set sort of proctoring conditions, you get to write up your own solutions. You write it up nicely, either it's handwritten or you type it up in a document, and then you submit it to them, and they will evaluate your solutions based on that. So it is a nice way to start developing skills like LaTeX, which is a way of typesetting mathematical ideas. And yeah, that's it. And also, if you do well in presenting your solutions, you are also given a special mention when you go to the next round. So the next round is a pre-final round. Since this competition is slightly newer than others, it has been changing in format, but currently it is a 1 hour subjective exam, and it has 3 to 5 questions. Now, in the pre-final exam, you are given a research paper 2 days prior to the actual exam, and one of the questions is definitely based completely on that research paper. So you have to read everything, you have to comprehend everything, and then based on what they ask, you will have to answer. And they are not usually copy paste. They can sometimes ask you. So if you're given a certain function, they can ask you to compute that function of different values, something along those lines. And the last round is a final round. You have 20 MCQ questions, and they are completely based on, not completely, mostly based on the content of the qualification and the pre-final round. So it's not like you can forget after you've qualified for the next round. So so this whole IYMC, it at least gave me a sort of introduction on how we can understand background information if we want to do our own research. And all the other competitions mentioned, IPHYC, ICHC, and IAAC, are all equivalents of IYMC in physics, chemistry, and astrophysics, respectively.
That's lovely. Yeah, this is so. These are some. So every competition mentioned here has their like own unique sort of setting apart factor. And I think IY. Thanks Diksha for sharing that about IYMC. There's one more competition I'd like to mention here that is not there on the slides is the World Math Team Championship or WMTC, where every year it's held in a new country. And again, it's similar to HMMT in the sense that you get into a group. So there are many rounds in it. There's one round which is entirely individual, which will be a bunch of MCQs and some computational problems. After that, there will be a relay round, in fact, which is also very fun for students to work with, where everybody is paired, every group is paired with is split into pairs, and the first person they solve their answer and then they whatever their question and they send their answer to the second person, and the second person has to use the first person's answer in their solution or in the question to get to their answer, and only the final answer of the second person is considered. And then after the relay round there's a short break which is followed by a team round where there's this limited time, usually 90 to 120 minutes, and students get together and solve. They're supposed to work with each other and solve a bunch of fairly challenging questions together and write up their answers and submit them. So each round is evaluated differently, and there are some individual medals that they get. There are some relay medals that students get, as well as some team or collective medals that are given out. In fact, the top few teams, if you do really well, also receive some good amount of scholarships. So I'll put this up in the slides, and I will share this as well with you later. Let's move on to the next one. So here's a list of some experimental and scientific quizzes or exams that you might be interested in. For example, there's something called the Vanda Science, or it's a global competition from Singapore for the students who are interested in science. There's the National Anveshika Experimental Skill Test, which is designed by Professor H.C. Verma, that assesses experimental abilities. There's the International Bee Bowl, which is a fast-paced, buzzer-based science quiz competition, which also you might be interested in. These are all, yeah. Again, so I'd like to invite Diksha again to tell us a bit more about each of these competitions that are mentioned here. And no, the next slide itself, Kavin. Yeah. And her experience at these places.
Yes. So all of these competitions, all of these mentioned, are conducted by CEMC, which is the Center of Education for Math and Computing from the University of Waterloo. So the first two competitions, Gauss and Pascal Kelly Firma, they are all MCQ exams, usually 25 questions, and you're given roughly 90 minutes. And they are about math of these certain grades. So Gauss is related to grade 7 and 8 math, and PCF is related to grade 9, 10, 11 math respectively. And if you feel like if you're attempting Olympiad for the first time and you feel sort of scared to even look at the question paper for IOQM, this is a nice way to get introduced to IOQM. Now, Fryer, Galois Hypatia, and Euclid CSMC, they are both proof-based exams for grades 9 to 12, both of these combined. And again, if you feel like IOQM to RMO is a big jump, but you still want to practice proof writing, these exams are nice for them. And BCC is called Beaver Computing Challenge. Even though it says computing in its name, it is more of a logic competition. So you're given 12 questions, and they are usually the flavor text. The way these questions are framed are very fun, and they give you a whole story kind of setup, and you have to decode what they're asking for and solve based on that. And CCC is Canadian Computing Challenge, which is again a nice precursor to ZCO, the first round of Informatics Olympiad. Now, all these exams have no lower bound for age. So even if So even if you are in 6th grade, you can attend all of these exams. And if you have younger siblings, let's say 3rd grade, 4th grade, they can also attempt any of these exams. So they are not age based, they are ability based. If you're in grade 9, you can still attempt the Pharma exam, even though it's for grade 11. So you are not limited by that fact. And BCC has some very insightful answer keys. So the questions on first glance might look simple because you're just logically deducing something, but the problem solving method to each question is linked to a certain aspect of computer science. Like, let's say, like it can link it to maybe pointer, this, how do I say, this pointer algebra or something like that, where you refer to addresses as your next variables. So BCC is very insightful in those terms. And FGH and Euclid are something worth writing because they are a very nice middle ground between IOQM and RMO. So they ask for objective answers as well, but they also ask for subjective. So it's more like it's framed in a school exam way, but they don't limit based on your particular method of solving. So as long as you solve the problem and your logic and your deduction is valid, you will get the points that are allotted for the exam, the question itself.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Diksha, again for sharing about all of these competitions and your experience. I'd like to call on to Gavin to share about OOBT.
OOBT is a course and a test that is organized by IITM's Pravartak Foundation. So OOBT consists of a 4-week 4-week course. It's a 4-week video sessions that you can attend. It is conducted by a professor called Sadagopan Rajesh sir. I've been attending Sadagopan sir's classes from 6th grade. He's a really good teacher, and his classes are really insightful and enjoyable. He makes math look really fun, and you'll also be given certificates after completing each level. And the test itself is a really nice test, and it is the level 4 is open to everyone, like everyone above the above class level. Even when I wrote the level 4 test, I saw some college people, some people who are working right now, sit next to me and write. So it's a really nice experience overall. Yeah, I wanted to share that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Kavin, Diksha, and Arya, for sharing your valuable insights into all of these competitions. So we've come to the halfway point of the webinar. So we'll be taking a 5-minute break, after which the floor will be open for questions. So make sure you've thought out what you want to ask, and we'll meet with you guys in just 5 minutes.
Math Circle is inherently different from, say, classes, coaching, or any kind of Olympiad training programs because we follow the reverse methodology there.
Because when we explain a concept and when they click, so they have an aha moment.
Which is why I really like coming to Math Circle every week.
So Math Circle has been running in many countries over centuries now. In India, Math Circle is very new as a concept. It's probably 4-5 years old. Eventually, we would want to have a Math Circle in every district where students can come together and they can have this learning opportunity.
Sometimes the sessions are so intense that children actually will be solving a problem even beyond the 2 hours that they will be spending in a classroom, right? And parents will actually be waiting outside, and they come back and ask us, how are they sitting for so long when we are unable to make them sit at home?
So if any parent is wondering what will I get from a Math Circle, it would be great content that you cannot experience anywhere, amazing faculty, the peer group that they get to, and the community that they are part of, which in itself is a very supportive community, and they kind of help each other.
The way Math Circle works is it's basically a setup where we have children in the age group of 6th grade to say 8th grade. Through a selection process, they get exposed to mathematics, which is probably not taught in regular school curriculum.
The point of the math circle is to allow the student to think and come up with solutions their own way. And the job of the faculty and the teaching aides is simply to nudge them in the right direction.
When we started raising a mathematician foundation, our motivation were students who were really passionate about math.
We divided students city-wise and figured out how we can expand around. So one of the ideas there was math circle.
So the long-term goal is to start these math circles, which will be like in-person experience for students to work with mathematicians or researchers on a weekly basis, and then slowly through that we tap into students who want to pursue mathematics in some form, and then we can scale it up to a national level.
Hello, welcome back. The floor is now open for questions, so you may send your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Okay. So can we unmute people who have raised their hands? Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
Mr.
hi, this is Sandeep. Can I ask it? Am I audible? Can I ask a question?
Yes, you're audible. Please
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah, so this question is pretty much about the Informatics Olympiad, about the ZIO and ZCO. So the question is, I see pretty much in every exam that you said, not just Olympiad, but even all of the exams as well, there are multiple stages of criteria, passing criteria. like 3 or 4 stages. Now the question is, say if student has passed the first stage and entered into the second stage, and next year, can they directly write the second exam, or should they rewrite the first stage again and go to the second stage?
That's a great question. So some of these competitions, for example, so most of these competitions, if you've made it to the national training camp, so if you've made it to the IMO training camp, or if you've made it to the IOI training camp, you do not need to give the regional or pre-regional competitions again. But this is only if you've already made it to the national camp. So to specifically answer your question, if you have passed ZI or ZCO once, but if you have not qualified the National Olympiad in Informatics, you will have to give ZI and ZCO again. But if you did qualify the National Olympiad in Informatics to get to the IOI training camp, then you will not have to give ZI or ZCO again. You can directly give the National Olympiad in Informatics. I hope that answered your question. Yes. Next we have Amrita Tripathi.
Yeah, hi, I am Mrs. Amruta Tripathi. I want to ask for these exams, do we need to go through the school or can we register individually?
Right, that's a great question. So most of the competitions that were shown, you can register individually. So in fact, the Olympiads that are there, the IOQM or ZIOZCO, all of these are absolutely open to registration for individual students as well. There are some competitions for which were in the team format. There you will need to have a team, but I don't think there are any competitions here that you need to go through a school to get to them. You can just do
Okay,
them
and how do we go about
yourself.
registering? Like, when do the forms open out and how do we access the form?
So we'll be sharing all the links with you after the webinar, and you can, whatever competition you're interested in, you can, because all of these are very different and are held at very different times. So I can't answer this question in a go. It depends on what competition you're interested in. So we'll be sharing the links with you, and you can check out the details according to whatever competition you're interested in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we have Pradeep Chopra next.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can somebody please check what's happening?
Sir, you have to unmute yourself, Pradeep sir.
Unmute. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me? I was getting muted back. Hi, Sai. This is very useful. I have one suggestion, and I'm sure some of the questions already asked and more will be way around that. Is there a way we can create a spreadsheet for all of these exams with all the details? Link for the further details, recommended age group, what are the dates, what are the prerequisites? Some of them are, for example, I think Waterloo requires hosted through school only, right? NMTC, we are struggling to find any option in Gurgaon. So I think and you have already done a great job of collecting all of them, and these are, I'm sure, the best ones we have available with us. If there can be a spreadsheet with one row for each, I think that would solve a major amount of time for everyone. I would be happy to be, involved in doing that, especially for maths. But I think that will take care of a lot of our questions and concerns, and will save a lot of time.
Absolutely, sir. Yeah, that's. I think that's a brilliant suggestion, and we can definitely do that. So I think Sundram, Priya, maybe you can get in touch and we can figure
I'll be
something out.
happy to contribute in this. I'll be happy to, create that, help creating that. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nivan, you're not audible. Can you please?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Rekha here, Nevan's mom. Ma'am, I want to ask that how can Nevan join Math Circle from Jaipur? Actually, we see that Jaipur is not in your list.
I let Sundaram Ganesh answer this question. So, I don't think we currently have a math circle that is running in Jaipur. Um,
Actually, I want to know that how can we join a RAM group or a math circle group?
We will send the WhatsApp group link in the chat. And Math Circle is mainly uh, like not an online program but an offline program. So we are, I think, hoping to start math circles all around India. So once Jaipur is on the list, that would be helpful. But otherwise, for other RAM programs like Roots, you can we will like have continuous notifications in the RAM group, WhatsApp group, and we'll send the link for the WhatsApp group in the chat.
Thank you.
Right. And I think if for Jaipur itself, so we are also looking to expand more and more. So please get in touch with us and we'll try to see if we need to check a lot of things and we'll try to see. It would be great to have your help as well in setting up something in Jaipur as well. So please maybe you can write to us at can we share our email address maybe? Sound like a good idea.
Yes, ma'am.
Please share the email ID in the chat. Please get in touch with us through that. Um, okay. Yes, thanks. Thanks, Neelam. Yeah, okay. Yes, next. Any other questions? Nivan's mom?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Yes.
Yes. Hello, ma'am. This is Garima. So I'm the mother of so he's in ninth grade, preparing for IITs and all. So wanted to know how you do we have math circle in Navi Mumbai?
As of now, I think we have one in Dombivli, right? Kavin maybe or Sundram, you
Or
guys
Mumbai.
can take this.
Yeah.
Okay. And so do you also run online sessions?
So not for Math Circle, but we do have many online programs that run throughout the year. Again, somebody put the link in the chat, but we have some Olympiad training programs that run throughout the year that are held online.
Sure. So how can so what I saw was you it is primarily for 6 to 8 graders. So for a ninth grader who is looking for IOQM and other foreign university exams,
Right.
yeah.
So we do have that as well. So we have different stages. For example, we have foundational math Olympiad training program. We have the intermediate math Olympiad training program as well as an advanced math Olympiad training program. So you can see which one suits you the best. And so again, can somebody share the link for these Olympiad training programs in the chat? You can go through that and you can see what the links has been shared. So that will have all the information. And so we have it's not just for 6 to 8 graders. We have different levels according to what suits you the best.
Okay. And then the classes are all online.
Yes.
Okay. Sure.
So, Sai, can I just
So
chip
you
in
are
between?
Yes, please.
ma'am, you are teaching only maths or is it also physics, chemistry, computing?
There is an informatics Olympiad training classes too that we are conducting, but otherwise only math, no physics and chemistry.
Sure.
And Garima ma'am, I would just want to add on that we have a math circle pipeline in Vadala. So once there is any update on that, we'll surely get back to you. You can just follow us on the social media and you can also ask us to follow. We have shared the WhatsApp link, so you can join that and you'll get all those updates over there.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay. Next we have Divya.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm Divya's son, Neeraj. I'm in fifth grade. So I just wanted to ask, which materials would you recommend for all of these exams? All of these math exams specifically?
That's a great question. Of course, for preparation, I think there are two parts that come with preparing for an exam or gaining some skills. One is to go through books, maybe go through some lectures, which involves some sort of learning. And the other is to collaborate with your peers and learn from that. So, for the first one, I'd suggest if you're in fifth grade, there's a great book that you can start off with, which is called Mathematical Circles. So there are two versions of the book. There is one called Masco Math Circles, which is great to begin with, and if you can take a look at it. If you once you're done with that, you can also try Mathematical Circles, a Russian experience. So for somebody who is just getting into these kinds of exams, I would absolutely recommend both of these books. And of course, for the other part of it, I'd say the math Ram circles. If you can find somebody, if you can find one nearby, or if there is one nearby, then I think there's nothing like it that will help you, get more of this exposure into non-routine mathematics.
I'd like
Uh,
I'd like to add
Yes.
also the bunch of books published by the Association of Mathematical Teachers of India. They start from a really basic type of questions and go to a really high level of questions too.
Yeah.
One more question. Jenny,
Go
when you
on.
start, uh, Jenny, when you're studying for these exams, how many hours a week would you spend on maths when you're studying for all this?
That's a very subjective question. So it all depends. So for example, for me, when I was preparing for the Olympiads, I even now, so there's always some problem or the other that is back of my mind. So even if I'm eating, I'm doing something else, I'm playing, there's always some. So it's very hard to quantify exactly how much time in a day you spend just preparing for the exam. I think maybe Kavan or Diksha or Arya, if you guys want to take it up, because for me, I would not be able to quantify exactly how much time I spend.
Not only for Olympiads, for any exam you can't really quantify. JEE also, you can't really quantify how much time you're spending. If you feel satisfied with your preparation, that is when you know when to stop.
Yeah. Okay. And Diksha, Arya, you guys want to add on to anything?
I feel like time spent is irrelevant compared to the kind of things you learn. So if you learn something in 1 hour versus if you learn the same thing in 3 hours, it doesn't matter because you've learned that one thing. Of course, there's this thing of spending more time on it so it registers in your mind better. But again, that's a person to person thing. And I don't think any of us will be able to perfectly answer that question without knowing how you absorb things or how you study in general.
Yeah, I think I agree with Kevin there. It's a very subjective thing. You stop when you feel you've done enough.
Lovely. Thank you guys so much. Okay. I hope that answered your question, Divya. Then we have Venkatesh. Um,
Yeah, hi. Hey, thanks for setting up the Zoom call. It's been very helpful. I have a couple of questions regarding, well, one of them is for the math circle. So my son is in grade 10, and I know your math circles are only run from 6th to 8th. I'm based in Bangalore. I mean, is it possible to set up a math circle for grade 10? And I
Can
mean,
I
I
answer
can
that
help coordinate
question?
that if needed.
Yeah, so, sir, the reason math circles are only for grade 6 to 8 is because at that age group in middle school, the kids usually don't have much time commitment in other activities, so they can devote the time required for math circles. As they grow older, especially grades 10th and 12th, they usually don't have enough time to devote for math circles, so we haven't kept them for grades for the older students right now. However, if your child is interested, we are always looking for volunteers and teaching aides for our math circles. And I believe you can apply for that position for the Bangalore math circle we're always looking for more volunteers.
How
And
do
as a
I
volunteer, they'll be able to attend the sessions and yeah, be involved in the
be
community
involved?
in a similar way.
Okay, how do I apply for volunteering?
I believe the email ID, can someone share the maths? Yeah, the Math Circle email ID has been shared in the chat.
The
You
Math
can
Circle
just send
Ram
an email. Yeah,
Math Circle Ram.
mathcircleram@gmail.com.
Okay, cool. All right.
Please send an email over there.
Okay, awesome.
Also, ICTS, which is TIFR Center in Bangalore, International Center for Theoretical Sciences, they host math circles in Bangalore and online for grades 9 to 12.
Oh, really?
I don't think they have a lower age bound either, but it's definitely till grade 12.
Is there because I tried looking for Math Circle, I couldn't find anything. Is there a contact at ICTS I could reach out to? Oh, you've got that. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got that. All right. One other question. So in my son's school, they have this SOF IMO. Is that the same as the IMO? Or is this something different?
Totally different.
It's totally different. Yeah. So this IMO is actually IOQM, RMO, INMO. All of these are officially run by the government of India. And the Indian team that is selected, they actually compete at an international level where you actually fly to a different country.
Right.
There is a 6-member team sent by every single country, and you meet other people and you compete at the actual international level. And as I said, this is a format is completely different. You have only 3 questions and 4.5 hours for those 3 questions. So it's totally different. Yeah, but that's a great question. Thank you for that.
Okay, sorry. And then what is SOF? I mean, is that SOF IMO? I mean, they keep calling themselves like International Maths Olympiad. So I thought it was the same. It was a feeder into the Olympiad thing. So how do I? So have you posted the link for like the Olympiad that you folks were talking about?
Yes, so all of these links will be embedded in the PDF, the slides that we'll be sharing with you after the webinar. So do keep a lookout for that.
Okay, awesome. And your deck will also include like any training that you will be doing that you provide for these Olympiads, right?
For sure, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. That's been very helpful. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up we have Anupriya.
Hi, thanks, Sai. It was very informative and helpful. I just wanted to quickly ask, so, a lot of us are in different curriculum formats, right? A lot of the traditional Olympiads are geared towards the CBSE and all. So if you have a child who is currently studying, say, in an IB board or an IGCSE board, sometimes we find there are these gaps. Have you had experience in your circles or in your conversations of people who are in international boards who are also able to cope up with these Olympiads? Or do you think that, because I can't find a curriculum set, like, for any of these to find like what is the curriculum you should know by this stage? I know geometry, all of that is very broad topics, right? In that sense. So what is the sort of curriculum for each of these Olympiads, and will students studying in the international format be able to cope?
That's a great question. So one thing that I would like to clarify here is that these these examinations are not dependent on a particular board. So most of these international or any of this IOKM RMO sort of progression, these are not dependent on, they're not very like their dependence on any sort of prior knowledge is very little. What they are actually testing, most of these exams that you've talked about, they're actually testing is your ability to come up with original ideas, creative solutions, and so on and so forth. So like what I've seen is people from across different boards will find it equally challenging. So it's not dependent on what your current knowledge is, but it's dependent on how much you can think by yourself.
Okay.
In fact, I think Deeksha is IG and I am CBSE. Sai is NIOS, if I'm not wrong. No. Okay.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Sai. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We have Arjun next.
Good afternoon. I'm in grade 10 and I'm aiming for entrance exams. So I had a question. How do we balance this with the studies for entrance, and what all exams should we choose out of these lots of exams that you suggested.
Do Kavin, Diksha, either one of you guys want to take this up?
Okay, so entrance exams, I would say balancing is totally dependent upon you and how you take it up. If you are taking entrance exams really seriously and like you want to spend more time on it, then it's up to you. And if you want to spend more time on math, then you can allot some time to math. It's also totally subjective. Like if you like math
Right.
a lot,
So,
you spend
for
more time.
example, like some of the things I mentioned, sorry, coming to cut you out, but
Yeah.
for some of the exams that I mentioned, they give you direct access to entry in a lot of prestigious universities as well. So it depends on where exactly you want to go to. For example, if you want to go to Chennai Math Institute, or if their entrance or even ISI entrance is very similar to, let's say, the regional math Olympiad or the Indian National Math Olympiad. So your preparation for both of them is going to be very similar. Your preparation for the entrance is going to help you with your Olympiad. Your preparation for Olympiad is going to help with your preparation for the entrance. And in fact, much more than that, if you, let's say, make it to the national training camp, that's going to give you direct access to, let's say, IIT Bombay interview for B Math, right? So it again, I exactly what Kavan said. Given all of this information, it's very subjective. So you can, if you're, let's say, if you are somebody who knows you want to go to, let's say, the Chennai Math Institute, then you can choose to allot your time accordingly. If you're somebody who aspires to do engineering at one of the IITs, then you should allot your time accordingly. And the other thing was that, I'm sorry, I'm just going to mute. Yes. From all this list of exams, how do you know what to choose? So right now we've shared all of this information with you, and every exam has something that sets them apart. So the way you can sort of filter it out is you can have a set of objectives or goals that you want from an exam, or what how you want that to work out. So based on that, you can choose. So our job here was to not tell you, okay, what this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, but it's more of just to give you the information so you can make the informed choice yourself.
And
I hope that answered your question.
And to add on, from my personal experience, what I would say is till 10th grade, you can focus more on Olympiads and these type of exams. And from 11th and 12th, you can spend a bit more time on JE. And yeah, that I wanted to add. And also
Thank you.
NSCP and NSEC are more like a subcategory of JE itself. The content is nearly the same. If you prepare for JE, it's like preparing for NSCP and NSEC.
Also, I'd like to add one thing. So, I don't have too much experience related to entrance exams, but what I've noticed is your preparation is divided into two main parts. One is learning the theory for the exam itself, and the second is learning exam specific skills. So, if you want to give some other exam along with these entrance exams, it can help to find intersections between the theory part in the in your entrance exam and the other exam. So it's like studying the same thing twice. So instead of completely allotting different times, you can make your study routine in such a way that you will not feel like you are balancing the exams. Instead, you'll feel like you are studying for them together.
Yeah, that's lovely advice. Great. Thank you so much, Diksha. And Kavin as well. Okay, let's move on. We have, yeah.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. This is Hamdan's mom. Actually, we are a NRI studying in Indian school. So Math Circle is we are from Chennai. Okay. So since it's an on-site, we couldn't participate. So, is there any program on RAM? I know it's online, foundation, intermediate, and advanced. To participate in camp or like that in July, August, is it possible? Like a camp to participate in
Usually the proofs camp happens in August, and there is math.biz that happens in June.
okay
But
in Chennai.
No, Proof Camp happens in Lonavala, Maharashtra.
Okay, fine.
In
Because I
Chennai,
have seen
yeah,
in maths, there is a camp which is happening in Chennai.
yeah, that
Yes, which is happening in Chennai. So let me know, is there anything happening in July, August in Chennai? Is there any campus going on?
I am not sure. I don't think there are camps that are going on in that time period, but math circles will be going on starting from August 2nd in Chennai.
Yes, and you can also always just get all of this information on our website, which has been shared multiple times. And you can also follow us on social media, and all the information is posted on our WhatsApp channel, on Instagram, on Facebook, and yeah. Okay, I hope that answered your question. All right, next we have Anisha.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Uh, I have a question because we are residing from West Bengal, so no math circles are happening in West Bengal. Is it possible to organize a math circle in West Bengal, or the which are ongoing math circles that are can it be possible for through online, so that we can participate, my daughter can participate?
So, sir, to start a math circle in a new city, I believe we've sent the email address on the chat. We usually need one or two parent volunteers who live in the city and can volunteer their time and ensure everything works on the ground. If you're or if you're up for that, or if you know someone who can volunteer their time, please send an email to the email ID. Again, it's already been shared in the chat, mathcircleram@gmail.com, and the team will get in touch with you. Right now, we don't have any math circles in West Bengal, but yeah, we're always hoping to start new math circles in different cities. So please send an email.
Math Circle Chennai is run by parents, and Math Circle Nagpur is totally run by students. So Math Circles is mostly a student or a parent-led initiative.
Okay, but the running math circle like Bangalore or Chennai, which are going to be organized, can it be possible through online, so that we can participate? Otherwise, it is very much difficult for us to participate in that math circle. Because my daughter is right now in class 7, and last year she participated in AGMNC, which was conducted by your Ram. Now, right now he's presently participating in the IMOTP camp, IMOTP, which was organized by your Ram. So, if it for the sake of is it possible online? Then we can participate.
Sir, as of now, there's no plan for Math Circle to be started online. But in case we plan something like this, you'll surely get an update from us.
Okay, thank you.
All right. We have Surya Kumari next. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I had a similar question to what was asked before. So I'm basically from Bangalore, and my daughter is in the ninth grade. So I wanted to ask, could you extend the math circle for ninth grade students also? If this child is willing to spend time or dedicate time on weekends, would that be because I know you said that higher grade students get issue in allocating time, but if we promise it from our end, then
Again, for if your child is not in the 6th to 8th age group or maybe younger, please send an email. They can volunteer, and as a volunteer, they can sit in the sessions, they can ask questions, as well as have some extra duties. So that is one way they can be a part of the math circle. Uh, Otherwise, yeah, applications for outside the age group are considered on a case by case basis. You should email and our team will take it ahead.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thanks. I don't have anything more.
All right. We have Magizini ji next. Yeah.
Hey, hello. Hey, thanks for the session. It was very useful. And my question is about two things. Like one is my kid is studying in 7th standard, and 2 weeks back, one of the session arranged by ramp she attended, and I also enrolled for FMOTP. Yes, I think it will start from tomorrow. And what I would like to know is like what is the difference between the Math Circle program and this kind of a program like FMOTP and other stuff. So the subject will be different, or how?
FMOTP is mainly aimed on preparation for the Math Olympiad itself, while
Okay.
Math Circles is not aimed to prepare the child for any specific competition, rather just discussing really nice problems and for the love of math.
Okay. So like if I enroll it in the both, so I think it will be useful, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if it's possible to. Okay. Right. And another question is, okay, for example, for 6 to 8, there is some eligible exam. For example, IM, whatever the thing. And for 9th to 10th, there is some eligible exams like, I don't know what to call. My question is like, say, for example, if one person is in 9th standard and he want to attempt one of the exam, so they need to know about this other exams like SFO or whatever the things which is uh, lesser than the grade 9. So they need to know those things, or
No, they are independent. You don't
okay.
need any. You need not have attended any prior exam. In fact, IOQM
Okay.
is the same exam for 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Like every grader from 8th to 12th, every
Okay.
person writes the same exam, same paper.
Okay. So the question is like, if it is 6 to 8 and 8 to 10, like whether the level of subject will be different or it is the same. It depends upon the exam.
Yeah, it will depend on the exam. For example,
Okay.
AMC 8 and AMC 10 will be different.
Okay.
AMC 10
Okay. Got it.
will have a bit harder questions than AMC 8. But you
Okay.
need not have given AMC 8 to give AMC 10.
Okay. Okay. So, yes, correct me if I'm wrong. Say, if we want to start something related to the Olympiad, it will be better when the kid is in 6th onwards, right?
Yeah, it would be like ideally it will be as soon as you start, it's better. But you can start in any grade. You can start preparing in any.
Okay. Okay. The next question is like, it may be useful for the parents. Like, so most of the parents would be thinking like, our children are doing well in the maths exams, like maths exams in their curriculums actually. So, for example, my kid is doing well in maths, so I thought, okay, they will be also helpful for the Olympiad exams. It's how the parent can judge better. Like, so one kids can excel in the school exams. Is there will be like if there will be also can be a judgment for the okay, this could be useful for the children to attend Olympiad also. Why I'm asking this question is like I enroll the exam, but my kids is still is not able to understand like a few things, and she is not. Maybe it is a beginning. I don't know, but I just asking like whether it is how we can decide, like from the parent perspective, how we can decide.
So I would say that
it's not about doing well in an exam. Like if you would ask any of us, would we still give the exam? Would we still do the preparation if we knew that we were not going to do well in it? I'm sure we would be, the answer would be yes, because our end objective was never to excel in an exam, but it was we were all doing it truly out of our passion for the subject, or truly because we were having fun
Okay.
doing it. So, as
Okay.
somebody who thinks that way, I would suggest that a student should prepare for an exam if they are enjoying, if they're enjoying their exam, and
Okay.
and even if, so I would suggest, as you said, that some of the things you're not able to understand, I would say that's totally fine, because in fact in school most of the things you will instantly, if you're instantly understanding, that is fine, that is like, that's amazing. But here, even if you're able to do that in school, it's going to be very challenging to do that here, simply because here you're not handed things on a platter. Like in the school, you're just given a formula and you're asked to apply it. Here, the sort of analogy here is that you have to come up with the formula yourself. So you need to, it's definitely much harder than in school. So I would say, regardless of how your child is doing in school, if mathematics is something they enjoy, they should totally try for these Olympiads.
Okay, great answer. Thank you. And the last question is like, there is something you mentioned about the root exam, right? So I saw the thread, but it is for the 2025 got finished. So for this year, like the date will be announced later, or
Yes, yes. So you please keep in touch with us. You can follow us on any of our social media handles, and you'll receive information about when the exam is going to be held.
okay, great. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your efforts.
Thank you, thank you. Next we have Aishwarya. We're not able to hear you, Aishwarya.
If you want, you can
Now
try
can
to
you hear
put
me?
the question. Oh,
Yeah, we
yeah.
can hear.
Hello. Yeah, now you can hear. Okay. Hey, thanks a lot for the session. It was very informative, no doubt. So I was also looking at some of the books suggested, because my son usually is very interested in math. But again, right, when we took this, we gave that time a selection question paper, some of the questions that he was not able to answer, but he still was giving different ways of solving it and all that. So my question is more on the mathematical circle books, which is very good, because I did not know this before. So if there are more books like this where I can just throw it to him and see whether he's naturally trying to go towards that and solve and do math, then I would feel that he might be a logical fit to spend more time on this. Any other books that you suggest? Mathematical circles, I think one other person was telling about grade level math problems like this. I didn't get it. Can you give
Okay.
that?
It is the books that are published by the Association of Mathematical Teachers of India.
Okay, Association
Uh,
of Mathematics. Okay.
Yeah, they have a bunch of books that start from which have easier questions, and they go up to really good questions.
Okay.
Maybe we will share the links for those books also.
Yeah, that'll be very useful, because again, as I said, right, so I don't know whether my son is really like what other parent was saying. No, as parents, we always think our kids are very good with math, but only if you put them through some rigor of other things in relation, then we'll understand. So it'll be useful if you can share some books as well.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do that. Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Last thing, sorry. So, like, you have this, very interested, curious people all getting together to do math. Do you know any other circle similar to this for science? It could be physics, it could be chemistry, who are also very active, very enthusiastic, like you folks in Max.
That's a great question.
Lodha,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, sorry. I was saying the Lodha Foundation is working on something related to science circles. Again, nothing has been announced yet, but they have some really good programs. They have the Lodha Genius program, which is again a math and science program. It's like a camp, and it has again, it's experiment based, and it has physics, chemistry, biology, and math. So that is
Okay.
something that happens.
Okay. Anything in Chennai that yeah, anyone knows?
I think there's something called Chai and Why, which is run by TIFR. If I'm not wrong, it's also held online, which is I think weekly sessions on science things. But yeah, we'll also just discuss a bit more and share add all these links to the slides that we'll be sharing.
Awesome.
But
One
yeah.
second, I'll just like to like share my screen for once, and then these are the set of books. They have like the books grouped on like levels itself, like fifth to sixth grade and stuff. So you can go to your local like center of mathematical teachers of India, and you can get the books from there.
Okay. Mathematical Teachers of India. Okay.
Mathematical Teachers Association.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll share the link anyways.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Rachit.
Yeah, hello. This is Rachit's mother here, and I have a question. I have a recommendation rather. There are two math circle programs being run in Chennai, as I understand, and both of these programs run on the same day, that is Sunday, 11 to 1. So I just have a suggestion ki if you could run one of these programs on an alternate day, say Saturday evening, if a kid, is not able to make it on Sunday mornings, that's just a recommendation. At least one of these programs, if you could run on a alternate day. That's one recommendation. And the second question is, what basis is the selection done for the circles program?
For the math circles, yeah, so for math circles, there is a selection test, and it's for grade 6 to 8. We have you fill out the application. There are a bunch of questions you answer, and then we have the selection test. I believe it will be uh, multiple choice, but yeah, again, the purpose of the test is not to score high, rather it's to see how you approach problems which are not routine, which are not something you would generally encounter in your school curriculum. So there's the selection test, and after that, the qualified students will get further details.
Great. Thank you so much. Next, we have Madhu Gupta.
So, hello.
Hi, we can hear you. Go on. What is your question?
Yeah, so my question is that do we need to attend any sessions if we want to join for math circles?
So the math circle sessions happen every week, Sunday in the morning, in whichever city, in whichever city's math circle we're talking about. Usually, from 10 to 12 or 11 to 1, something like that. And yeah, they happen almost every week, so you'll have to attend those sessions to be in the math circle.
Will they be online or offline sessions?
They are held offline. In some cases, we might have a session or two online, but again, mostly offline.
Okay. Are they available in every place? And I'm in Pune, Maharashtra, so it is available.
No, we don't have a math circle in Pune as of yet. Again, if you know someone who's interested in taking up the lead and volunteering as a parent volunteer, so please send an email and our team will take it up from there.
Okay.
There's
Thank
a
you.
math circle in pipeline in Pune. So once there is any development and if we launch a math circle over there, you'll surely get an update. So be in touch through us through the social media.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madhu.
Thanks.
Okay, next we have Venkat. Hi, yes, you're audible. Go on. What's your question?
So I heard that there is this Quantum Wonder program for students who are interested in quantum physics and all. So is there any Olympiad for like quantum physics and stuff as well? Also, I would like to know, if possible, the time when the Quantum Wonder program will start and how do we sign up?
That's a great question. So, as for the time and updates on Quantum Wonder, you can again keep following us on social media because we'll post things over there. So there's an Olympiad for physics, but there is an international modern physics Olympiad, but which is more focused on the 21st century physics. But I am not really fully sure about whether India participates and all the things. So I can share the link with you, but I am not aware of the details. You'll have to look for those yourself.
Oh, okay. It's like, is there like, other than IPAD show and the modern physics Olympiad, I've heard of both of those. Is there like one that's like completely centric on quantum physics, or is that not possible?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe Diksha, you guys, Kavin, you guys know anything about that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but yeah, if we do find something, we'll add it onto the slides before we are sharing them with you. Okay, next we have Abhishek Dixit.
Hi, I'm Abhishek this side. Only one question. I think great session. Can you share the information regarding the books? I think I joined late, so if you have shared it earlier, if you can share the information regarding the books, that will be very, very helpful. Over an email or over a PDF, through which we can help the kid to prepare. Yep, that's the question.
So we'll add the books and other resources in the PPT before we share the PDF through to all the registered participants. I think that should be sufficient. Today's PPT, the webinar's PPT will be shared with you all, and we'll add all the other resources and links in the same. So yeah, that's it. All right, next we have Kavinan. Kavinanji, please ask your question.
Hi, thank you for arranging this session. Very helpful. My son is in grade 9 and he is playing for IOP. So he is into IMOTP program. So I need some book regarding the Combitronics book by S. Muralidharan sir.
Yeah.
So I need how to buy that book, details about that book.
Okay. You can mail the AMTI organization. If you go to the link support@amtionline.com, or you can go to the center. Like there will be a AMTI office in your city.
Okay.
For the
And
combinatorics book of Murli sir, they can even write to Ram,
Yeah.
and we
Okay.
can get that arranged.
Okay, I can write to Max or Ram, Rising a Mathematician email ID or?
Yes, that also, or contact@raisingamathematician.com.
Okay, and one more thing. So we are into Chennai now. So we need my son is willing to be a volunteer in Max Circle. So what is the procedure? We have sent a mail to Max Circle Ram that my son is willing to be a volunteer in Max Circle group. So what is the next procedure actually?
So if you have already sent out an email, ma'am, you will surely get a reward from us.
So
If you don't
already
mind resending that to again, I'll take it up personally.
Okay, I have already sent. So
Okay.
the email ID which I send is writingamathematician@gmail.com also we have sent, and Max Circle RAM also I have sent.
Okay.
So kindly consider and tell me what is next to be done.
Sure.
He has finished FMOTP module 1, module 2, and then he is into IMOTP. And this year he is going to take up the IOQ exams.
So we'll be starting the selection process soon. So maybe the selection team would be looking into all these things. Any which ways, I would still request to resend that email,
Okay.
and we'll revert to you on that.
Okay, thank you. So regarding the Combatronics book, you will be, if I send a mail to you, you will be sending the book directly to me, or?
The team will guide you on the process, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
you so
Great
much.
job.
Yes, next we have Divesh Ji. Please ask your question.
I'm Divyesh Ramanathan from Chennai. I'm currently studying 11th grade. As you know, the IOQM test exam is coming up, and I don't have any prior experience writing Olympiads or preparing for it. So, do you recommend any method of preparation, like in this time, like 2 months is that right? So, any books that covers all the concepts?
I think Diksha or Kavin would be better suited to
What
answer
I
this.
did, like for the first time, maybe was or in the last 2 months, maybe do sample papers or past papers that would help. But books, I'm not sure. Diksha might be.
Yeah, in only 2 months, you will not be able to cover all the concepts.
Yeah.
And this is for every exam, IOQM, RMO, INMO, even for IMO, TC. You will not be able to cover everything in 2 months. Maybe covering basic tech. So what I would recommend doing is to solve a past paper or a sample paper and see where you are able to find some idea, but the only gap between your idea and solving that problem correctly is some technique, and then you learn that technique. So that is how I would recommend for IOQM.
Is there any way to develop your problem solving thinking or skill, like any?
The only way to develop is by solving problems.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I would have one thing to add to this. I would have one thing to add to this is that you can look up the actual HBCSE website. They have their own recommendation of books that they recommend. So if you want to make your 2 months preparation more structured and try to get as much as you can, the list of books recommended by HBCSE themselves is there on the website. So maybe one of you guys can share it as well, or we can add it to the slides. But yeah, that's a very good list of books that you can use.
Right. So we have Sudhaji next. Can you ask a question? Sudhaji?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this lovely session. I would like to know something about the informatics Olympiad. Like I see it has math and computing together. I'm very new to it. Like what it is all about. What do you need? Like, is there any prerequisite skill or knowledge that is required before they start? At how to know whether the kid is interested? What kind of thing the kid has to be aware of?
Right. So the first level, there are two ways to get into the informatics program, the informatics pipeline. One is it's called the Zonal Informatics Olympiad. This is the ZIO. It does not require any set prerequisites. It's some kind of computational problem. So you can look up the past papers or sample papers that will be there online. So ZIO that does not require you to know any coding. You're
Okay.
provided with a calculator and you're provided with some combinatoric style questions where you can try to, there are going, and it's not just questions, every question has a bunch of subtasks. So
Okay.
even if you're not able to fully solve the question, you can get these partial points by solving certain subtasks. And so that's one thing that doesn't require much of a prerequisite. Then this similar to ZIO, you can also qualify for the National Olympiad in Informatics through the Zonal Computing Olympiad, which requires some knowledge in coding or programming. So I believe ZCO, you can, if you know, C++ is like the main language that's used across all computing Olympiads. So, but I believe
So
that
ZIO and ZC
they they are
are two different
equivalent.
routes
You
that you're
don't
saying.
need you don't need one to get into the other. So you can give either or you can give both. And if you qualify
Okay.
either or both, you get to go to give the National Olympiad in Informatics, which is a strictly coding competition. So you need to know C++.
Oh, it's strictly a coding competition. Oh, it's
Yes.
only in C++, right?
Yes, only in C++.
And the one more thing, if the RAM has introduced the informatics Olympiad training, right? It's closest now in
Right.
this week, I guess. The program will cater to the first ZIO or the next level.
No, the program is meant only for ZIO and ZCO. Yeah.
Okay. They will cater for both or whichever we choose.
No. So they're not two separate competitions. Like preparing for one helps you prepare for the other and so on. So
Okay.
yeah, it's something that's meant to help you with both ZIO and ZCO.
Okay. But you can take either one. If you are not with coding, then you can take the ZIO.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, who do we have next?
Navneet.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, and thanks for this very informative session. I have one question. So, on this Math Circle website, I see this Loda chapter. Okay, so because I'm in Navi Mumbai and I don't see any Math Circle, but then is this Loda chapter something which is like online, which we can join?
So I'll just take this up. The Loda
Yeah.
chapter details, which is there on the Math Circle, was earlier in place. But
Okay.
as in for Navi Mumbai, we are in discussion for a Math Circle. As in
Okay.
how the things progress, and whenever we start, you'll get all those updates, sir.
Understood. One more question, because this is my first time hearing all this, so it's a lot of information. So you have recorded this session. So is it possible you can share this recording or this presentation?
Yes, we
Yeah.
will share the recording, sir. Yes.
Okay. And one last question. My daughter, she's in grade 5. So is there something like the basic foundation level entry point? Because these are like higher level from 6th to ninth or 6th to 8th or something like, the age groups or the grade groups. So for grade 5, what is the entry point? Like, at this level, what
So
should she
the
start with?
FMOTP program that we have, that is from
MOTP.
grade 6, but she
You
can
can
just
mail.
FMOTP Foundation Math Olympiad
Yeah.
training program. That's from grade 6, but she can go through those sample self-assessment types questions, and if she's able to handle, she can join that. And we'll be having roots contest, which will be from grade 5th onwards.
Okay. And when it is starting, the roots contest?
Roots contest is generally in September and in October. The dates are yet to be finalized.
And we have to apply through this RAM website, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for this session. Lovely. It's
Thank you.
lovely. Thank you.
Mr. Omkar. Mr. Omkar.
Hello, yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. Yeah, I just want to know about details about IOAA, that is about Astronomy Olympiad. So, what are the like from which grade it starts, and what are the books, and is there any link that we can join or to give that exams?
Okay, NSE is the starting point for, if that's what you're talking about, Astronomy Olympiad, right?
Astronomy Olympiad, yeah.
Yeah, so it starts with NSEA. It's something like NSEP. So I think from 10th grade you can give NSEA, but it requires calculus though, knowledge of calculus prerequisite. And it doesn't have much of astronomy itself. You'll have
Okay.
like few astronomy questions, but it's mostly math and physics only.
Okay. So the
So from 10th
first
grade you can give.
NSEP, like for the Astronomy Olympiad, the first level is NSEP.
NSEA.
NSEA, okay.
Yeah.
And it starts from grade 10.
Yeah, grade 10th you can give NSEA.
Okay, so is there any link that RAM conducts, or how we can apply for that?
Oh, registering for NSEA, it's the same for, you can just look, or I'll send you the link.
It's there is a link in the chat I've shared for the astronomy.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right. So that was a very nice Q&A. So just allow me to give a vote of thanks for this session, the beautiful session we had. So good afternoon all. As we wrap up the incredible session and insightful session that we have, it is my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of Ram Foundation and everyone present here. First and foremost, a massive thanks to Sai, Aryav, Kavin, and Diksha for giving their experiences and information about the various maths and science Olympiad. They took their time out today to demystify the world of maths and science competition to all of us. And usually in school curriculum, it is quite daunting to step out of that boundary and go beyond the school curriculum to give such exams. But these guys made this information and their experience sharing made it easier for us to actually know more about these competitions. So thanks for that. A special mention to our audience, because a lot of your questions were very insightful and your participation was very excellent. And lastly, a big thanks to the organizing committee. We hope that this webinar made your helped you to begin your chapter in beyond school curriculum maths and sciences. Thank you again, Sai, Arya, Kavin, and Diksha. And I encourage all of you to join the math because in and around your region, and also go through our websites for our courses that will be helpful for the endeavors that you have. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.